Hello. Today I'm going to be sharing what I've been making and working on and buying in the last, mostly August, but probably a little bit of July and stuff too, but mostly August. So I'm going to call this just an August recap, crafty recap. So if you've seen my other videos, I've kind of merged into doing more playing with Barbies and doll collecting and that kind of thing. Still doing that, but I'm also, very much into crafting. So, but I don't just do cross stitch anymore, or I never really have just done cross stitch. So, I do a variety of things, so I'm just gonna kind of take after Elizabeth Ann can stitch and just kind of make my channel more about what I'm actually doing. So let's get started. I've been doing lots of stuff. Okay, hi. So I haven't done a video in a little while, but I've definitely been crafting and buying craft supplies at thrift stores and here lately consignment shops. Consignment shops are my new favorite thing, and apparently the pop-up consignment shop era is upon us, and I'm all for it. They have anything you need. If you're not familiar with consignment shops, I kind of had to look it up myself. People take their stuff in and tag it, price it whatever they want. They take, nice stuff in that's too nice to be donated, but not something they want to continue to use. They've got the use out of it for them. It's kind of that good in between, but they still, you price it to sell. You price it still kind of like old school thrift store prices, maybe a little bit above, or maybe what thrift stores are now. But it's, better quality stuff. And then the pop-up events are just short-lived consignment shops. So instead of going to a consignment shop that's there all the time, these are pop-ups. So they literally pop up, like the ones I've been going to are in some of the old abandoned department stores of the mall. And they'll be there for a week and then they're gone. So I've been buying dolls from there, toys for my son, stuff for the house. I'm not a big clothes shopper, but clothes are abundant, and craft supplies. So I was a little surprised by the amount of stuff that I found. So I'm going to show all of that to you in this video. All right, so quilting first. I've kind of put my cross stitch stuff aside, and I've been working on quilts here lately. The only time I really cross stitch, and I'll show you what I've been working on cross stitch wise. The only time I cross stitch is in the evenings after we've kind of watched everything we want to watch, and it's like an hour and a half or so before bedtime. I'll cross stitch a little bit before bed, but that's really it. But I'm quilting all the time right now. I just finished, I'm just off of a fresh new big quilt that I finally finished for my son. It's hand quilted. It's kind of a extra large full size, but it's not in this video. I'm gonna do a whole separate video of it because I made matching curtains and everything for his room. So that'll be in another video. But coming off of that really made me want to just make more and more quilts. So I have been working on them anyway. Okay, so the first one up, I cut this out last December, when I was getting ready for a weekend trip that I do every year about December, around the time frame of when my mother passed away. I go on a solo trip on the weekend, just me, and I craft, and I usually quilt. So I cut up a bunch of, to prepare for that last year, I cut up a bunch of quilt fabrics for quilts. This is one of them. So this is from the actual website, it's not in the magazine. American Patchwork and Quilting magazine. I mean, it's in the magazine, but the pattern is online. It's one of those, but I loved it. Just solid colors, and it's Christmassy, but it's not super Christmassy, you know. So I love this, and so I've been working on that. And coincidentally, I had all of these fabrics, all of the same colors. I didn't need to buy anything for this, which was awesome. Which is also something I'm trying to do more and more of, just in my life in general, is use what I have, you know. So I did change one thing in the squares. I'm using this fabric in the squares, because this fabric I've had for forever, and never used it. I've had, I think it was like a couple yards of it, maybe just 1 yard, I don't know. And it's like, and it's the same colors as this quilt. I thought it was perfect. So I've started on this quilt. Like I said, I had all the pieces cut out, but I didn't start sewing on it until, you know, back in August sometime. This may have been July. But at any rate, so I've got all the strips sewn. See, this is where I used the, I'll show you a strip of it here. Cute, right? So I've used that in the middle instead of just plain white. I was going to like embroider like Santas or something on it, but I was like, man, I'm just going to use this fabric. I haven't used it for anything else. And use it up. So, but I love it. I think it's so cute. Problem is me. And I've gotten better, but I'm slowly learning, finally about to learn, that you need to cut out your pieces for a quilt accurately. Not too big, not too small. Accurately. So, you know, if it's supposed to be cut out at 3.5 inches, it needs to be 3.5 inches. Not 3.5-ish inches. I'm learning. So what I've done is that I cut it out, the piece is a little bit too big. And all of these seams need to match up, roughly, you know, for it to have this effect. And they're not, because the pieces, I cut out these blue ones. Basically, I cut out the blue ones too big. Like way too big, so that when I, you know, try to match them up, they do not match up at all. I think it's actually these blue pieces, but at any rate, so this is another, you know, cute, huh? I do not have a design board. I don't really have the desire for a design board. I could put like a little one up there on that wall right there, but I don't know. It just, I lay stuff on my bed, on my kitchen table, on the floor. I don't feel the need for a design wall at this juncture. Anyway, so, you know, this is one thing. Of course, it makes it hard to show you pieces like this, but whatever. So, at any rate, I'm trying, basically, so this is at a standstill until I can have enough energy, maybe in the evenings. One evening I can take this, because it's in a big bucket. Take the bucket in there, and I guess instead of hand picking them all out, maybe just make the seams bigger, like sew more. I don't know. Anyway, so this is just kind of sitting there. Luckily, I started it, you know, in July, August, so I have plenty of time if I wanted to get that done before Christmas and have that out. So, but that's, with all that to say, it's very fun to work on. I'm really enjoying it, and I'm really excited to get it done. Next, so we went on a big yard sale adventure see my last video, we did the world's longest yard sale, and it didn't bother my son any, but we lost one of his little baby blankets. Now, this is not a quilt, it's just a store-bought blue fuzzy blanket that we got at, that I got in one of my showers, like baby showers, when I was pregnant with him. It's not sentimental, but it bothered me. I don't know. Maybe it's more sentimental than I realized. But I took that and decided to make him a little traveling quilt blanket of sorts. So we were recently out at a little discount shop local to us, and he picked out this dinosaur fabric, and I was like, I'll make you a little bitty quilt with it. And so I had everything else, and it's ready to be quilted. I'm just going to do some like super simple machine quilting on my domestic machine, which I've never done before. I was going to hand quilt it and do like big stitch quilting. I'm still wanting to try big stitch quilting, but I'm just not quite there yet mentally, energy wise, so I'm just gonna machine quilt it and get it done. So here it is, ready to be quilted. I don't know if you can even see it. Let me see if I can stand up. There we go. So, like I said, he picked out the dinosaur fabric. I don't know if you can tell. Let me do a little close-up of the dinosaur fabric. Cute, huh? And you can get this at Walmart. They had it at Walmart. But this is just, I don't even remember what this star thing is called, but there you go. Like I said, I had the purples and the greens and the yellows, and then I had orange polka dot for the back. So, like I said, it's ready to be quilted, and I didn't want to, and because I've been working on this next quilt, that's just a quilt top, I didn't want to, I wanted my quilts to be in the same stage, I guess, So I was waiting for this to be ready to be quilted before I quilt that one. So this is a quilt for my dad, for his bed. My mother was a huge quilter and just had quilts out the wazoo my whole life. And she gave them away, and but for some reason she never really made my dad one. Probably the same reason why I don't have one for our bed either. But anyway, so my dad a long time ago was like, oh, when I was working on my son's quilt and I was hand quilting it, endlessly because it's huge, my dad was like, well, I wish you'd make me a quilt for my bed, something dark colors. And I'm like, okay. And so, many, many months later, I'm doing it. And I wanted something simple. I wanted to use what I have. I don't want to have to buy anything. I did have to buy backing fabric, but I actually bought the backing fabric for another quilt that I ended up not doing. So technically I didn't buy anything for his quilt. But he has a full-sized bed. My son has a full-sized bed. So, but my dad is 6 feet tall, and he likes to tuck his blanket under his feet at night. And have it, all the way up to here. Why do men like to sleep with the blanket all the way up to here? Does anybody else sleep with the blanket all the way up here? I can't do it. I get too hot. Anyway, so his favorite color is green and like basically camo. He's a big hunter and camo kind of military guy. So I pulled out all these green scraps that I had. I actually bought green scraps from a Crafty thrift store up in Nashville a while back to make a red and green quilt, but I didn't end up doing that, and so I had those left over from that. And I wanted just something super simple, and I'm going to machine quilt this one too, just super simple. But here it is. It's just the little zigzag. I don't even know what this is called. Zigzag. That makes little zigzags. And it's just scrappy green. And I took a lot of time to make sure the same fabrics weren't next to each other, and to make sure it kind of had a balance of dark greens and light greens and this bluish green fabric that it has in it too. I'm not a scrappy quilt kind of girl. It kind of stresses me out. I like order, but this one was nice to use up all the green fabrics. So, have this. I did turn one block around the wrong way. So I went ahead and finished up the quilt top, and then I'm gonna have to move it around, see if I can find it. I thought about leaving it because my dad will not care, and I even had my husband come in, and I said, "Hey, how does this look?" And he said, "Yeah, it looks good to me." And I said, "You don't see any blocks out of place?" And he was like, "Oh, right there." I'm like, okay, well, now I have to fix it. But I'm really just fixing it for me, because my dad does not care, you know. If it's this hard to find, you'd think I'd just leave it, you know. But I'm not. I'm gonna fix it. Well, I can't even find it, but it's there. Oh gosh. Where are you? Block. Let's turn the wrong way. We may never know. Wow, I really can't find it. So I guess that's good, huh? Yeah, I really can't find it. Did I fix it in my sleep? I wish. No, I didn't. It's there. Anyway, so this quilt top is ready. I'm gonna fix that block. Square it off really well. Well, iron it, square it off really well, and do a border just to make it a little bit bigger. Okay, so like I said, it's done. I'm gonna add a border of the polka dot print around it to make it a little bit bigger, and just kind of finish it off a little bit. And then I'll quilt it and do the binding, and it'll be ready to go. Sorry, my son was looking for Percy. Okay, so that's all the quilts that I've been working on. And then I've also, like I said, I haven't been cross-stitching a whole bunch, but sometimes if my husband is watching some kind of political thing, with it being an election year here in the U.S., which kind of exhausts me, to be honest. I wasn't raised to watch political stuff or be that into it, but he's super into it. Anyway, so when he is watching that and he wants me to sit, you know, in there with him or whatever, I work on this stitch. I love this. I really want to finish this up because I would keep it out all the time. I love it. It's from this Just Cross Stitch magazine. And I've kind of changed the colors just based on what I have. But I'm still doing it on the black. And here's what it looks like thus far. Probably need to put something behind that, don't I? There. So, looks pretty good. I need to work on it some more. And then the next thing I've been trying to finish up and get on the wall, excuse me, is this Arizona Sunset piece that I finished 1,000 years ago. And all I want to do and I found the perfect thrifted frame. I'm sure I put this in a video a while back. Okay, so it's technically backwards, but you get the idea. How perfect is this? This was like a couple bucks from the thrift store, and it fits in there perfect. Let me put it this way and show you. I'm sure I've shown you, but because I kind of want to put some kind of label thing on the bottom anyway. Well, I don't know if I can get this up to where I can show you. Okay, there we go. You see all the space at the bottom there. I kind of want to add Arizona 2020, because that's when we went. I was pregnant, just barely pregnant with my son, and it was like our baby moon. It was during COVID, so, you know, a lot of outdoor things to do in Arizona, so that's why we went there. I wanted to add Arizona, like AZ trip 2020, Arizona trip 2020, Arizona in like cursive lettering. I don't know. And so I started with the date there, but it's a little too big. So I need to take that out. It's going to be like that. I need to take that out and make it a little smaller. What do you think? Should I do like the date a lot smaller and then do Arizona in big block letters, do Arizona in cursive lettering? What do you think? Tell me what you think I should do. But isn't that frame perfect? I'm so excited. That's why I want to get this on the wall and get it done. Okay. The next thing I've been working on, cross stitch wise, is this cutie little thing. Very fall. I love this. I love everything about this. I love the colors. I love that it's going up and down. Is that, you know, I always get those confused. Horizontal and vertical. It's not terrible. I have since I was a kid. I always have to remember, always, even now at 42 years old, I have to remember the horizon goes this way, and so that's horizontal. And columns are up and down, and they are vertical. So I like that this is a vertical design. Something different in the blue acorn. So cute. I had this kitted up at a cross stitch store on our travels at some point, and so it's all the called for stuff. And this is how it looks. It looks even better on screen than it does in person. It looks pretty cute in person. So I love working on this. I've been working on this last several times I've had any kind of cross stitch bug hit me. That's all cross stitch stuff I've been working on. So 3 quilts, 3 cross stitch things, and the rest of the stuff is haul. Well, no, I'll do, oh goodness. Well, it's haul. So the rest of it that I have to show is haul. If that's not your thing, that's cool. I'll see you in the next one. But I've been really finding really good, cool craft stuff at thrift stores and like those consignment pop-up shops like I was mentioning. So, you know, we've all heard of, well, I think cross-stitch community-wise, of Save the Stitches, you know, where you find stitched pieces. Sometimes they're framed, sometimes they're not, at thrift stores, and you buy them and either keep them or you resell them. Resell them? No, we don't resell them. We give them to other people that will enjoy them. It's been circulating for quite a while on the floss tube cross stitch community, and I have 2, technically 3 of those kinds of things. So first one I'll show you, I don't know if I've shown you this already, but this was in with like the towels and placemats. It was completely out of place, and it was hanging on a hanger like it was a towel, at America's Thrift Store. That's kind of the thrift store that I frequent the most, as far as non-mom and pop, church run ones. It's America's Thrift Store is one I go to. And now I think I'm pretty sure I showed this, but that's okay. I'm gonna show it again. It's darling. Little owls. It's stitched perfectly. And like I said, it was hanging up with like the towels and pillowcases and that kind of thing at a thrift store. And I was like, whoa, it was $1. But it's stitched perfectly, and it actually matches my home decor. I do, you know, very fall nature vibes in my house. Very warm colors, muted tones, that kind of thing. Nature kind of tones. Green, orange, brown, gold, accent, that kind of thing. This is a frame that I had. I don't know that it'll stay in this. I just wanted to see what it would look like, because the piece measures exactly 8 by 10. So it won't fit in an 8 by 10 frame. So this is the next size up that I have, and I kind of like it. You know, the frame itself is pretty rustic, and I kind of like it in this. I don't know if it would take away from it if I had a mat board cut to fit it or not, or if it'd be worth it. I don't know. I thought I'd just hang it up. I just literally have it plopped in there. I thought I'd, you know, and I probably need to iron it first. I might just hang it up in the living room for a little while and see how I like it. So, but like a nice orange, kind of a medium orange toned matte board might look cute. I don't know. What do you think? So there's the first one, and then this one I got actually at the yard sale, and I showed it just in the yard sale haul. Most of it was doll stuff, but I did find this. Is this not so pretty? Now I don't think it's technically cross stitch because it's really puffy. It's professionally framed. I think I found this pattern, and it's like a I'm sorry, I have, my accent disallows me from speaking clearly. C-R-E-W-E-L. Is that what this is? Or is it just regular needlepoint? I don't know. But it's gorgeous. Is it not so pretty? So, and it was, oh gosh, it was $5, I think. $5. And like I said, it's professionally framed, a little stained in the back, but it's still, you know, has a wire, it's ready to go. And I got it, one, because it's gorgeous, but two, I got it to hang in this room, because this is, I don't know what to call this room anymore. I've actually moved what craft supplies I have left over to my bedroom. So I don't technically craft in this room anymore. So it's not technically a craft room. It's more of a doll, unless it's a doll related craft like this dollhouse behind me that I'm redoing. I don't know what to call this room, but I'm doing like I just recently painted, I about said colored. I colored the walls purple, painted the walls purple to do like a Lisa Frank kind of vibe of a room. So I thought this, if you know anything about Lisa Frank, my husband didn't, and that was a very painful conversation to have. I thought that would look great in this room. So I was really excited about that. I just need to get it on the wall. Next, Save the Stitches is not really a framed piece or anything. It's a craft supply storage from long ago. So I'll just show you. This was at the consignment shop and with a bunch of other craft supplies. And I saw it on the first day, because I was a consigner, because I put stuff in the sale, you get to go to pre-sales. And so before they open to the public, you get to go in there and shop first. And so they have one when everything's full price, they have one when it's half off, and then they have one when it's 75% off, and then whatever's left at the end of the week, they have $1 day, and you go in there and whatever's left is $1. not everything is discounted. So, and this piece is actually not discounted. So I paid full price for it, which is totally worth it. It is this huge binder full of old school DMC floss. In the old school, well, I guess people still do it this way. This is some, I assume, a woman. This is some woman's cross-stitch DMC binder. Is that not... I mean, first off, the binder itself is so cool. Very 70s. I don't know if she made this, or I did like a Google reverse image search or whatever, Google Lens, and I couldn't find anything like this. Now I see that there is a thing on the back. I think she did... Oh, I'm just realizing this. I think she did this little shell decoration herself. Because the back of it, I now can see that the plastic has just like a regular binder, you know, brand on it. And these have been put on top, you know. And that's got like a bubble in it. I think she's... These look like the old school things that you put at the bottom of a bathtub. You know, the grippy things for a bathtub. That's what these look like. I mean, talk about resourcefulness, you know. Craftiness. But isn't it so cool? So, there's the back. It's a little more detailed for some reason. But that is definitely the back. How cool is that? So, yeah. So this was 10 bucks a steal. And I call it... Now these are the ones that are at the top. You know, well, these, you know, they come out at the top. She has some ones in the very back that are blank, empty, that come to the side. And I've seen some things online that's like, why would they go to the side? Why would they open on the side? It's just going to fall out. Well, they do fall out. That's probably why she didn't use them. But there's even some of the extra cards in there. And a little key, because I guess it's got J&P coats and DMC in it. So there's a little conversion chart there. And there's some old patterns in here. Well, old. The patterns themselves are like 99. But it's just so cute. And there's a couple of like religious sayings and stuff in the very back. But I mean, it's not in the best shape, but it doesn't matter, because this is why I'm calling it a Save the Stitches, is because I have no practical use for this. I just couldn't leave it at the store. I couldn't. You know, I couldn't stand the thought, the fact that it's not discounted, so it's $10. I felt like it would just stay there, and then it might go for $1 on the dollar day, or it might just end up being donated, and that just broke my heart to think about. So I'm like, okay. Even my husband agrees. He's like, yeah, you should have definitely brought that home, because it does not need to be circulating, you know, for somebody to find it and love it. So, you know, we know how hard it is to kind of use old DMC floss, you know, because the dye lots change over the years and stuff. But I do have several old patterns, paper patterns, kits that, you know, I have the patterns just left and the color key card, but, you know, someone stitched it in the 90s. So I'm thinking I might be able to find the actual colors in here. So, you know, that's one kind of practical thing I could use it for. But otherwise, it's just going to hang out in here and be displayed. And it doesn't smell either, so that's nice. And I couldn't leave it behind, so I consider this a save the stitches as well. Alright, that is that. So rolling right into haul, and cross stitch haul in that same consignment shop and same consignment time that I went, and from the same consigner, I also bought a bag of hoops. I love finding these thrift stores, and it used to be really easy to find them. It's getting harder and harder to find them. There's 2, 3 wooden ones, and 1, 2, 3, 4 plastic ones. So the wooden ones I like to use for finishing, and then the plastic ones I like to stitch with. So that is cool. That was $5. Other cross stitch stuff, they had a bunch of like kitted up patterns. So this was the first one that I saw. This is Bent Creek Christmas Row, and there was a ton of them. This one, Blackbird Designs. This one you can't see for the sticker, but I have to just take the sticker off. The sticker doesn't have any like information on it, but still, you know. This one, and then this one. So I picked out a bunch of them. Okay, so these are regular price, full price. They were $8, a bargain, because they have the pattern, they have the called for fabric or close to it, called for floss, you know, this is fancy floss, and even the called for buttons embellishments for $8. Oh, I just showed the pattern. Oh man. Okay, I'll try to bleep that out. So, a bargain. Well, I didn't really notice them much until they were half off, coincidentally. So, they were $4, which is a steal. I mean, these are kitted up, like I said, the embellishments, you know, the buttons, the fancy floss, you know, Week Style Works, hand-dyed floss, and linen fabric. Usually the called for linen fabric. I mean, for $4. So I picked out 4 of those. And I just thought it was a really good find. I really like this one a lot. I've seen this one circulating around. Everybody loves Blackbird Designs, but I love that it's, you know, red work, and that they included this really pretty R&R Apple Brown Betty. Nope, I just made that up. Apple Brown Bendy. 30 count, looks like. Yeah, 30 count. Linen. And this really cute. I don't know if this is called for or not. Is this called for? Or is it just red? DMC 221 is what it calls for. But they put an overdyed in there. And like a variegated overdyed. Oh, I love it. Cranberry. So, I love that. I thought that was just a great find. I actually have this pattern, so I'll probably sell it and then keep this one for myself. But this is a Bent Creek Christmas Row, and it comes with 32 count Dirty Belfast. I like this kind of linen. That's a nice soft linen. You know, really nice. All the called for over dyes, and the buttons. All the buttons. So, if I didn't have so many Santa cross-stitch whips already, I would go ahead and start that one. But I need to work on some of my Santa stuff. Alright, that's all the cross-stitch stuff that I've bought. I've been selling lots of my cross-stitch stuff on Marketplace in the groups. So I'm not buying a lot of stuff. I'm being really, really picky. I'm being really picky with what I buy and spend money on craft hobby-wise these days anyway. But that's all I got. On to fabric. So this came from, these are all from thrift stores. I got the YouTube nose. Okay. So this big bag of fabric, something I've been looking for quite a while. Something exactly like this, where it's a bunch of scraps of non-cotton fabrics. So velvet, tulle, satin, you know, polycrepe, gauze, all that kind of stuff. Anything like garment sewing fabrics, but scraps. Because I am getting into more doll collecting stuff. Oh my gosh, itchy nose, so sorry. Need some water too. Hold on a second. Okay. Because I'm getting more into doll collecting stuff, I want to kind of merge the two and make doll clothes for Barbie and stuff. You know, just something fun. But I needed something like this in my life, and I can't believe I found this big bag at the thrift store for $2. Fabric scraps, $2. And I didn't buy it the first time I saw it. And then the next day, my son and I was by myself that day. And then the next day, my son and I were out and about in the same area. And I was like, let's go back over here. If they have this bag still, I'm going to buy it. If they don't, it's fine. Wasn't meant to be. Well, they still had it, and I bought it and snatched it up. So, this is the big old bag of non-cotton fabric scraps. So you have this, it would be perfect for doll clothing, or even like a really cool patchwork, you know, something for you. But I bought it for doll clothes. There's no smell. There's not even like old lady smell, like it's been stuffed, you know, in with mothballs or anything. There's no smell, which is incredible. And, you know, there's, obviously it all needs to be ironed and steamed or whatever. But, you know, you have this dark green, like satin material. You know, lots of formal gown kind of material in here. Great. A bunch of that. You know, here's some like, not crepe, but I don't know, sateen, satin, I don't know. You know, little pieces of tulle. You know, pink. You know, even some of this, gold. There's just tons of it in here. A bunch of different ones, you know. This is like a sparkly tulle. So cute. Perfect for doll clothes, right? I was very excited that I was able to find that. Oh, there's another like polyester-y satin kind of thing. So, like I said, $2. Could not be beat. So now I can try out all different kinds of doll clothes and, you know, mixed media kind of things you want to try out. You know, mixed media art. I've done that off and on through the years. Perfect. $2. Very excited for that. Next excellent find, and last find, I guess, is this big stack of, you can't tell, can you? Of batiks fabrics. You know, I used to, fun fact, I used to call batiks batiks before I heard it being said. I called it batiks. So now I have a hard time not calling it batiks. Batiks. But it's a big old bundle of these, and it's like yardage. They're not like scraps, you know. And I know the batiks are so expensive, but this is like, you know, half a yard. I mean, there's just a ton of them in here. Of this, you know, we're talking 4th yards. That's probably a 4th yard. 4th yard, half yard, you know. So cute. Now, because batiks are so expensive, I've never sewn with them. Unless I just happen to get some like this, or, you know, I've never purchased them because they're just a little too pricey. They're beautiful. Not saying they're not worth it. It's just, I've never worked with them. And so, I saw these at the thrift store, America's Thrift Store. Big bundle. They're all bundled together for $3. And I hemmed and hawed and hemmed and hawed. You know, it wasn't the money, obviously. I don't really need any more fabric. But I was like, wow, the batiks, this is just kind of too hard to pass up. It's almost like a save the stitches kind of situation again. I don't want to leave these here and then, you know, they just sit. So there was a few pieces that are obviously not batiks. They're just regular solids, but still nice. And then this one, my son woke up the other day, one morning, this week, randomly. Now, we've already bought his Halloween costume. We went to Spirit Halloween and let him pick out whatever he wanted. And he picked out the sandworm costume. It's so cute. From Beetlejuice, of course. Beetlejuice is everywhere. Can't get away from it. But it is coincidentally my husband's one of his absolute favorite movies. So, we are going to see it, the second one, at the drive-in tomorrow night. We are very excited. Anyway, so my son picked out the sandworm Beetlejuice costume, and then, so imagine my surprise when a couple mornings ago he woke up and he declared that Mama should be Joy from Inside Out. We watch Inside Out a lot. We like that movie too, and we went to the drive-in and saw the second one. We like that movie. It's a good one. So, I had already bought this stack of stuff. I just hadn't really looked at it yet. So, it all kind of came together. This is, if you're not familiar, I'll put up a picture of Joy from Inside Out. And I thought this would make the perfect dress. It's like a green yellow. It's a cotton, a batik. A batik tonal is what it's called, I guess. And I can do the little splotches of the sunburst thing for her dress. Make a little dress. There's 2 yards of it here. And if I don't have quite enough fabric to make it a dress, I can make it like a tunic kind of thing, or even like a shirt with a big peplum, and then wear yellow leggings underneath, because she's kind of yellow. She's pretty yellowy. And I just need to find a blue wig, and bada bing bada boom. So for $3, I got a ton of batiks to do something with, and a Halloween costume. How cool is that? So, that is what I've been acquiring as of late. And, yeah. So, now I'm focusing on my Halloween costume and finishing the quilts. So my plan for September, finish my Halloween costume. Finish those 2 quilts, and see what else I can kind of finish up. So, for the future, I don't know. I think that's about it. I don't want to get into all of that yet, I don't think. So, okay. Well, thank you for watching. I'm going to close it off right here. I'll show you once I get some of this stuff done. I'll show you. And we'll go from there. Okay. Thanks for watching. Bye.